I think you can see my screen now.
Yes, we can. Maybe you can ask Darshil to share his video also, just in case it's too laggy later on.
What do you mean?
Oh, doesn't matter. Go on.
Oh, sorry. All right. So I think that we can start. Since the template had 5 minutes for have 5 extra minutes, I decided to use that 5 minutes to let people join. So in case someone was running late to it. So I will use this time for do a quick presentation of the team work behind the ephemeral messages. The main developer, the GSoC student that was working in it was Darshil. I don't know if you can turn your camera on, Darshil, so that people can get to know you apart from the photo. He's a student at the IIT. He is interested in web development, and he is participating in this year's edition of the GSoC for Rocket.Chat. He was one of the top 5 contributors to the code base during the community bonding period. So that's why we are here. And the other member of the team, it's me. You're seeing me. So I don't need to post a photo of myself in here. So a quick explanation of the project overall is that ephemeral channels are channels that, as we were mentioning before, will disappear after a user-defined amount of time. Messages won't leave any trace of their existence after they have been deleted, and any file, shared, video, audio, anything shared on that message on those channels will also be destroyed. Users can set any time they like from a drop-down of options that can vary from 5 minutes to 1 day. This can be increased or decreased depending on the usage. But the idea is that they can also set a different destruction time for messages on the channel. So, for example, if a user wants to have a channel for one entire day, but the user doesn't want to have the messages to be around for the whole day, they can put an individual destruction time of like 5 minutes, and then every 5 minutes the messages will be deleted, but the room will be still there. The purpose of all of this, the main reason behind this, is to allow users to have private asynchronous conversations that will last as long as they like. This is one of the main differences between the OTR feature that we already have and the ephemeral messages, because the OTR is more synchronous. Both users should be online at the same time in order for the OTR to work. But with this type of channels, users can be offline. You can have channels with any number of users, and they will work. So how it looks, this is a brief design that you will see in the demo right after this. You can see that you can select now the ephemeral option from the create channel model. The ephemeral will also appear as a new item on the left sidebar. And after a room has been created with the ephemeral properties, you can use this new quick action button to update the ephemeral time without problem. This is what I was mentioning before. And one other key reason why we're doing this is that these channels will perform like any other normal channel. You can invite users, you can share files, you can start calls on there, you can share messages from other rooms, and everything that is happening on that channel will be destroyed after the time that the user selected. So that's why we did. Now, it's time for the demo. So I will stop presenting and give Darshil presenter rights from now on. Oh, saying, can I do that myself, or should you do that?
Okay. Sorry.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's a presenter now.
Floor is yours, Darshil.
Hello,
We can
am I
hear you.
audible?
Yes,
Yep.
So,
live.
so do I need to upload a presentation for sharing? Where's that option? I am not able to
No,
find.
you should have a button, a forward
Oh,
button.
I got it, got it. Yes, yes, share your screen. Is it visible? My screen is visible.
Yes,
Hello.
it is. It is.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So now I will give a short demo for ephemeral channels. So basically, the minimum ephemeral time for ephemeral channels is 5 minutes. So I have pre-recorded a video, so it might not take a long time. So I will start that video, and in sync I will explain all the features also. Uh, So is it visible, the video, Kevin?
Yep.
Okay, okay. So I will start it. So basically, for creating any ephemeral channels, the steps would be similar to that of private channel or public channel. So we will go to this icon in the left sidebar and create that channel. Uh, then there would be a field name ephemeral, which would be a switch button type. So if we switch on, then the private or the public field will get disabled. And one of the thing is the ephemeral time is a must for any ephemeral channel. So if we keep it empty, then the error would come as shown here. So now let's play again. So mentioned here, as Kevin mentioned, we have given options ranging from 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour to 1 day. So the user can select their own preferences in both ephemeral times and message ephemeral times. As Kevin mentioned, we have a all the ephemeral channels are differentiated from the other channels. So as you can see, the channel which we created is mentioned here, and it has a separate icon which Kevin has mentioned, like that of timer. Uh, then the other difference from the other channel is this: the route name would contain ephemeral. Likewise, in private channel, it is channels. In public channel groups, like that. Other UI is mostly similar to the other channels only. So here the room information would contain the information of the room's ephemeral time and the message ephemeral time. Uh, The one of the special features of this ephemeral channels is this button on the right top, which is also known as contextual bar in Rocket.Chat. So it would give options for updating the room ephemeral time and message ephemeral time. This option would only be given to the owners of the channel and not also to the admins. So explaining on how this room ephemeral time update works. So basically, it would add 15 minutes to the present time and set a new ephemeral time. And after setting a new ephemeral time, a system message would be sent to the room, and this system message would not expire and would only be deleted after the room would expire. In case of messages, the update would work like on the uh, send time of that message. So basically, if the send time of this message is 5:42, and if I update its ephemeral time to 5 minutes, then at 5:47, the message would be expired and gone from the room. So this all are the main features of this. We can send basic messages like file, emojis, and all the other things. We can star messages, and all the other features are like the other rooms only. We can also star messages, star message like shown on the screen. The star message would be shown till only the messages in the room. If it gets expired, then it would be gone from here also. So now let's move towards another channel which I have created beforehand only. So for showing you how the expire works and how the UI updates when the messages expire or the room is expired. So seeing here, if you had seen the ephemeral time of this message ephemeral time of this room was 5 minutes, and this message was sent at 5:39. So basically, this message would expire at 5:44. So the message would expire at any time now. So it's gone. So it counts nearly 5 minutes and it vanishes. So the file also vanished from here. So now we will check how the UI updates when the room's ephemeral time is met, which is 5:45, and the current time is 5:44. So I will little bit skip the video. So the room might be expired anytime now. Boom, it went away. So whenever the room is expired, it would be went away from the sidebar also. And if someone tries to write its route and enter in the URL, then he will be shown room not found. So one of the other questions of every other people would be will be that if any user can join if it's not added by the owner. Let's check that. So I will copy paste this URL and try from my another account and see if he can join or not directly. So the room not found means the room was still there, but the other user got room not found. So it the user cannot know about that room also. So yes, this was the demo. Now I will go back towards PPT. So the challenges faced and the lessons learned. So the one of the most toughest challenge I faced was to decide the technology to be used for project. Means we had many options like we had Redis, MongoDB's TTL index, then we had a separate scheduler. So we had many options, but we had to think which technology would be easy for the user for deployment. So we finally went for MongoDB's TTL index. So the lesson learned is how to decide the tech stack which would be suitable for our project. And the other challenge, which I guess most of my fellow contributors would have faced, was navigating and finding files through such a huge code base. I guess everyone in the start finds really tough to finding files which needs to be changed. So, but with time, I was able to cope up with such a huge code base, and so the lessons learned are that I am now really confident to work with such a huge code base, and I have learned few shortcuts in VS Code which can help me to find my files. So future plans. So one of the feature that I have in my mind is to implement that send and delete type of messages which are currently present in Snapchat. The other plan is like fixing bugs which are currently in ephemeral channels or which might arise in future, and working on the suggestions from the community. So before the Q&A session, I would really like to thank my mentor, Kevin, and all the mentors in Rocket.Chat for helping me throughout my GSoC journey. Thank you.
Thanks, Darshil. And we have some questions from the chat. The first one about auditing I already answered, but there was one from Levi that was asking if everything related to an ephemeral channel is actually ephemeral without exceptions.
1 minute, I need to scroll up little. So everything related to EP is temporary, no exceptions. So most of the thing is temporary only. Everything is deleted only.
Yeah, to add a bit on what Darshil said, yeah, everything sent on an ephemeral channel will be ephemeral. And there is no way of converting a channel from ephemeral to a normal channel. So at the time you create an ephemeral channel, it will be ephemeral until it dies. And everything in the room will also die with it. The other question that was there was, what type of use cases makes sense to use these ephemeral rooms?
Kevin, are you answering this?
Oh, yeah, no problem. So the base use case will be for people that want to have private conversations without having the hassle of having those conversations to be around, like an async OTR, as I was mentioning at first. So, for example, if a user wants to talk with another user in the channel, but they don't like the idea of those channels to be around every time until they manually delete that, they can set an ephemeral channel and the system will take care of that. Other question, I think this is something that you can handle, Darshil. Rodrigo asked, does the deletion respects the option to keep history?
No, we delete all the messages at the moment. Means we don't have any setting related to keep history.
Nice, great. There is other option. There is other question. There is an option for admins to allow, not allow ephemeral channels.
It is not present yet now, but we can add. Means we can add a setting for that.
Nice, great. Another question. If someone joins later to an ephemeral channel after it has been created, is there some visible indication that he/she entered in a room that will disappear soon?
No, the messages would stay at the moment. All the messages before would stay.
I also think that the intention of the question is to ask if the user who joins an ephemeral channel is notified about that the channel is ephemeral.
The UI would show him that it's in ephemeral. Means what notification means? I didn't get your question.
Okay, that's great.
Answering to the question Rodrigo has asked, yes, the system messages will also disappear. Means whenever the room is expired, we have set a watcher on it, so it will delete all the messages that are still left. Like it only will consist of system messages when it is expired, as all the messages would have been deleted before.
Nice, great. Any other questions? You guys?
Answering to the Ram Kumar's question, basically it is the not an RC app. It is on the core product only.
Great, great. Yeah, everything is not recoverable after it has been deleted.
Can it be a public channel? So
Well, it can be a public channel. We decided to make it a private channel by default because.
but basically it would be like similar to the prune messages only that are still in the public channels. Means I guess.
Yeah, and also we decided to be private channels by default for ephemeral because we wanted to be it like a privacy feature, and having a public channel that will be ephemeral. I don't know if it will be so private. So that's why we didn't handle public channels for ephemeral. Yeah. Regarding the last question from Rodrigo, currently the prune message will also destroy the messages from this type of rooms because we didn't handle that prune messages feature. So it will be the one that comes first. So if the prune messages happens before the channel is destroyed, then messages will be prune. But if the ephemeral timer comes out first, then channels will be destroyed and they therefore won't be pruned. Also, the ephemeral channels, the ephemeral destroy will try to remove the items from the trash. So even if they were pruned, and moved to the trash, they will also be removed after the ephemeral time was met. Great. Any other question? We have like 3 minutes. I don't know if you want to wrap up, Darshil, on what you learned on the overall project, or if there is any other question from the community. There is no problem.
So I guess there are no more questions, Kevin.
Yeah, I guess there are no more questions. So you have some time to wrap up everything or to mention something that you forgot to mention.
So basically, I tried to mention all the things, and I would really thank Rocket.Chat for giving me such a wonderful opportunity to develop such a beautiful feature. So I would also thank all the mentors of Rocket.Chat.
Great. And thanks to everyone who joined to this demo. I hope that I hope that you like the project, and hopefully we'll have it in Rocket Chat at some point.